and welcome to the Times of India. You're watching Global Pulse with me, Neha Khanna. It's a visit that will be closely watched around the world. Russian President Vladimir Putin will be in India on the 4th and the 5th of December for the 23rd Annual India-Russia Summit. All eyes will be on New Delhi, as this will be Putin's first trip to India since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022. While on the surface, there will be diplomatic greetings, ceremonial banquets, and hugs and handshakes, this summit is a carefully calibrated effort by both Moscow and New Delhi to reaffirm a strategic partnership, one built over decades, but now facing mounting global pressures, with Russia's global position shifting dramatically on account of sanctions, isolation from many Western economies, and new patterns of trade and diplomacy. Trade between India and Russia has surged since 2022, largely driven by discounted Russian oil, an issue that is now haunting India-US ties, with President Donald Trump slapping 50% tariffs on India. 25% of those tariffs are punishment just for buying Russian oil. Then there is the trade imbalance with Russia that New Delhi is trying to address, exploring ways to boost Indian exports to Russia, dealing trade from Western-dominated payment systems, and build a secure trade architecture immune to third-party pressures. At the same time, energy security remains a priority. Russian officials have repeatedly underscored Russia's readiness to ramp up shipments and stabilize supply to India despite Western sanctions. Putin himself has spoken about elevating cooperation with India on energy, industry, space, agriculture, and much more, aiming for a qualitatively new level of technological and economic collaboration. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said, "We are ready to go as far as India is ready," prompting some observers to draw comparisons with Russia's no-limits partnership with China.
Мы будем и дальше выстраивать суверенную экономическую политику, действовать на внешнем контуре, исходя из собственных национальных интересов, потребностей отечественного бизнеса и наших граждан, выполнять обязательства перед иностранными контрагентами и наращивать сотрудничество с теми государствами, которые в этом заинтересованы. Уже говорил, таких стран, действующих рационально и прагматично, абсолютное большинство. За последние 3 года мы существенно увеличили объем торговли с ними, прежде всего имея в виду ключевых партнеров – Китай, Индию, с которыми нас объединяют долгие годы дружбы и стратегического взаимодействия.
Very, very high level of cooperation with China in various fields, like with India. And yes, it's our readiness to enhance, to develop our cooperation with China in various fields without no limits. But the same stand we have with India. We are ready to go as far as India is ready. And we are ready to develop our cooperation in every possible field as far as India is ready.
Therefore, this visit could well define a new phase in India-Russia relations, one shaped by global headwinds and shifting alliances. Perhaps the most attention-grabbing part of the agenda is defense cooperation. For decades, Russia has been one of India's largest arms suppliers, and even now, around 2/3 of India's military platforms can be traced back to Moscow. Earlier this year, Russia made S-400 missiles played a stellar role during Operation Sindoor, India's military operation against Pakistan. At this week's summit, India is expected to press for additional orders of the long-range air defense system S-400 Triumph and for progress on supply of the advanced 5th-generation fighter Sukhoi Su-57. At the very least, the two sides will explore future possibilities. Russia has reportedly offered up to 50% technology transfer for S-400 missiles and related systems, a concession that could facilitate domestic Indian participation, maintenance, upgrades, and perhaps local production. Additionally, the two countries are moving beyond isolated deals. Russia's parliament has ratified the Reciprocal Exchange of Logistics Support Pact, building a framework for mutual use of facilities such as air bases, ports, overflight rights for drills, humanitarian operations, and maintenance. This is being seen as major institutional deepening of defense cooperation between the two countries. There's also some talk of more advanced capabilities, systems beyond S-400, such as next-gen air defense like S-500, though at the moment it is in the realm of speculation. New Delhi's aim is clear: secure not just hardware deliveries but also long-term maintenance, upgrades and possibly co-development to reduce supply chain vulnerability and reinforce self-reliance. Beyond defense, the India-Russia summit is expected to cover broader economic cooperation. Energy, especially oil, remains central. Russia, under tremendous pressure worldwide, is keen to retain India as a major buyer. Of late, even as some Indian oil refiners have scaled back purchases under Western pressure, Moscow says the slump may only be temporary and promises increased shipments using sophisticated logistics. Both sides know trade must evolve if it is to survive under the sanctions regime. Hence, discussions are also expected on new payment mechanisms, de-dollarized or linked to non-Western systems. The two sides are also expected to expand cooperation in civil nuclear energy, critical minerals, space, industry, agriculture, and labor mobility, diversifying the partnership beyond oil and weapons. For the West, especially the United States, this visit is a test of India's balancing act as New Delhi strengthens its ties with Russia, even as the West continues isolating Moscow. As we mentioned, the US has imposed steep tariffs on Indian imports targeting New Delhi's Russian oil purchases. Russian officials have dismissed these tariffs as illegal and reiterated that Russia-India relations would not be dictated by third parties. Therefore, this summit is not merely transactional. It's symbolic of India's insistence on its strategic autonomy at a time when the world is witnessing growing geopolitical tensions and shifting alliances. For India, welcoming Putin sends a message: New Delhi will not be forced into binary choices under Western pressure.